Hi, I am Sam, your teacher, Sam, my teacher, Sammy, teacher. In this video, we're going to talk about the power of power, or the power of an exponent. Let's say you have a piece of paper, and you start folding it every second. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and so on. And every time it will get thicker, thicker, and thicker. In reality, you can fold the paper no more than 6 times, or 7 times at the most. But let's imagine we could. If it's ever possible to keep folding it, what do you think will happen after 1 minute? Well, it will have been folded about 60 times, since there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. But how thick will that be? Or how tall will that be? Do you think the stack of the folded paper be taller than you? Well, let's do some calculation to figure out. A piece of paper is usually 0.01 centimeter, which is pretty thin. The first time you fold it, it will double the thickness. And if you fold it another time, next second, it will double again. And that's gonna happen every second you fold it, every time you fold it. And after 14 seconds, when you have folded the paper 14 times, which is same thing as 2 to the 14th power, the height of the stack will be about 164 centimeter, which is a little shorter than my height. I'm not telling you how tall I am actually, but a little shorter. And next second, if you fold it one more time, and it'll double one more time, since 1 more 2 is being multiplied, it will be 2 to the 15th power now. The stack will be 328 centimeter tall. By the way, that's more than 10 feet tall. Actually, it's closer to 11 feet tall. So by folding the thin paper just 15 times, it will be taller than anyone in the world. And we still have 45 more seconds to go to make 1 minute. Now, what do you think will happen after about 41 seconds, after you have folded the paper 41 times? This number will be pretty big, so I'm gonna have to use bigger unit than centimeter. Let me change that to kilometer. 0.01 centimeter will be 0.0000001 in kilometers. And that's how thin a piece of paper is in kilometer. And after 41 seconds, after you have folded it 41 times, the stack of the paper will be around 220,000 kilometers. And just in case it's hard to imagine how tall that is for you, let's talk about the Earth and the Moon. The distance between the Earth and the Moon is, roughly speaking, 380,000 kilometers. Now compare this number with this number right here. By folding the paper just 41 times, that's gonna cover roughly 60% of the distance from the Earth to the Moon. So if you just fold it one more time here, so the exponent becomes 42 now, the stack of the folded paper will be 440,000 kilometers, which is greater than the distance between the Earth and the Moon. So if you could ever stand on the stack of the paper, you will be taller than the Moon. Now, what do you think will happen if you fold the paper 50 times? Then the height of the stack of the folded paper will be around 113 million kilometers. To give you an idea of how tall that is, let's talk about the distance between the Earth and the Sun. Now, in reality, the size of the Earth compared to the size of the Sun is actually much, much, much smaller than this. But if I draw it in a proper scale, you won't even be able to spot where the Earth is. And also, the distance between the Earth and the Sun will be much, much, much farther than this. But I won't even be able to draw both of the Sun and the Earth in this area. So keep that in mind. Now, the distance between the Earth and the Sun is about 150 million kilometers. If you compare this number with this number, you can tell it's not too much of different. This number right here is roughly 75% of the distance between the Earth and the Sun. And after one more second, after you have folded the paper 51 times, then instead of 2 to the 50, the result will be 225 million kilometers, which is about 1.5 times greater than the distance between the Earth and the Sun. Still not impressed enough? Well, then let me try to give you a better understanding about this distance. Let's say you have a sports car. Oh, this is a one badly drawn sports car, by the way. And you drive this car with a speed of 100 mile per hour. You know how fast that is? That's about 160 kilometers per hour. And that's way over the speed limit of the most countries actually. If you ever drive with that speed and you get pulled over by the police officer, you get a really expensive ticket. It's about 1.5 times faster than the freeway speed limit. And if you start driving this distance with that speed, the distance between the Earth and the Sun, guess how long it will take? However old you are, if you start now, the chance is you won't be able to get there before you die, because it takes more than 100 years. But again, it took only 51 seconds by folding a piece of paper every second. And you reached 1.5 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun in just 51 seconds. And that's the power of power, or power of an exponent. Now I'm gonna upload another video of the same topic in the very near future. So if you're ever interested, please press the bell button to be notified. And I thank you all the time for watching my videos.